Under a proposal championed by Governor Andrew Cuomo, New York would become the first state in the nation to mandate a minimum wage of $15 per hour. That's more than double the federal minimum wage. A new study says a $15 minimum wage will ultimately cost New York State at least 200,000 jobs. New York just can't handle these kind of job losses, and the problems don't stop there. Just ask local employers.
The first thing we would attempt to do would be to dramatically cut the number of hours out there.
Potentially, it's going to be hours. It's going to be full-time and part-time positions.
On days where we had 4 people on, we'll have 2 people on.
If we have to triple the salaries, the hourly wages for bus people and servers and bartenders and all of this, that means we have to cut down the staff quite a bit because the money's just not there to pay them.
We want to keep good, hardworking employees, and if that means paying them more, then that's what we have to do. As business owners, we get that. That's part of the equation. We make that choice. But for the government to come in and say you have to do it, regardless of whether that employee is doing a great job or not, that's a problem.
You're reducing the amount of man hours that you're able to offer your people, which reduces either people or the amount of overall hours they could work each week. And you're increasing the cost of goods to your customers.
We can't pass along a 60+% wage increase to our consumers. So we're really trapped.
Our financial model simply does not allow for a 67% increase in any of our inputs, whether it's cost of goods, labor, rent, or taxes.
I'm looking at increasing my service rate or my employee rate by about 30%.
You know, the incentive for being in business might be lost and I might be better off working elsewhere.
Well, we know for any farm, that it's going to raise the cost of food. I mean, it has to.
We're looking at a situation where we would probably be forced to increase food prices 25 to 50%. One might argue that, pass that on to consumer. We're all going to stand the pain and increase your prices. Unfortunately, New York would be an island.
I'm not sure how we're going to be able to compete, but when our labor costs are double what they are in Ohio milk becomes a whole lot more competitive in the New York City marketplace.
Normally, we aren't the price setters, we're the price takers. Is Price Chopper going to want to double the amount that they pay for produce? Are people going to want to buy it at that rate?
If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
I've always argued in the past, labor for us wasn't the cost, it was the availability. Well, now it's going to be both.
It's going to really curtail a lot of things that we do. It's going to curtail us from bringing new activities to the farm. We're going to just have to totally readjust, how many customer service people out in the orchard that we have.
This sort of an increase isn't just like another little thorn in your side or another little expense you've got to deal with. This would put some farms out of business, for sure.
And the name of the business is Time For You Play Care LLC. I started Time For You Play Care this past fall with the anticipation of being able to provide area students a quality after-school program.
Lifesong is a nonprofit organization that serves people with developmental disabilities.
We support them with applying to jobs, interviewing for jobs, transportation to and from appointments related to their employment. And upon hiring, we also offer job coaching support. So we support them at their place of employment for the duration of their employment. The state wage increase, again, although in theory it does maybe seem like a great idea, I think it absolutely does shrink the job market. And in an already somewhat limited job market, given the folks that we support, it's going to make it that much harder for them to find competitive employment.
Higher pay? More like fewer jobs.
It's that entry-level job that they really need if they're going to really be that much more competitive, and if they have aspirations of reducing the amount of government subsidies that they do currently utilize through SSI, SSDI, things of that nature. If they want to be more self-sufficient and independent, they're going to need those entry-level jobs to give them that chance.
Increasing the tuition would be one, potentially limiting the size of the program to keep it smaller so I can keep some of my costs down, but overall that's not going to allow my business to continue to grow or to even survive at that point.
It's going to put a significant hurting on us significant.
It's a frightening situation when a government mandate is dictating, whether you live or die.
This would put some farms out of business, for sure.
Every year it's new regulations, every year it's new red tape. It's going to be an absolute nightmare for us. We're not sure that we could even continue with that.
If you increase the minimum wage, people will remain with the same buying power. You create a better economy for people, and everybody will be able to grow.
Get the rest of the story and learn how you can help at EmpireCenter.org/minwage.